Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to set up FireScoreboard with StreamYard. Now StreamYard doesn't natively support browser sources like OBS does, but we found a workaround that gets the job done perfectly. And the best part? I'll be showing you how to do this using Affinity, which is completely free, so you won't need to pay for any additional software on top of what you're already spending on StreamYard. Let's dive in. Before we get started, make sure you're using a compatible browser. You'll need Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or Opera GX. I highly recommend Chrome as it's been the most tested and reliable for this setup. Unfortunately, this method won't work with Firefox or Safari, so if you're using those, you'll need to switch over to one of the compatible browsers. Alright, let's jump into StreamYard. The first thing we're going to do is create a dedicated scene for our scoreboard. This will make it super easy to switch between your normal layouts and the scoreboard during your stream. On the left side of the screen, click New Scene and select Speaker View. Now hover over your scene and click these three dots here and select Rename. I'm going to call this Scoreboard Scene so that it's easy to identify later. Click Save and then click Show on Stage to make sure it's active. Next up, we need to create a new layout specifically for the scoreboard. Down here below the stage, you will see your list of layouts. Click this plus button on the right side. This opens up the layout editor. At the bottom left, click Add Item and select the dynamic camera grid to add it to the stage. We'll configure this more later, but for now, just click Save at the bottom right. Name this layout Scoreboard Layout and click Save New Layout. Perfect. You'll now see it added to your layout list. Now here's where the magic happens. Since StreamYard doesn't support browser sources, we're going to use a clever workaround using the tab sharing feature. First, navigate to your FireScoreboard and select the StreamYard layout. Click Layout Preview, and this will open the scoreboard in a new tab. Now, right-click anywhere on the background and select Inspect from the menu. This opens the developer console. Don't worry, you don't need to know how to code for this. At the top left of this Inspect panel, you'll see some icons. Click this second one here, the device toolbar, or you can click the keyboard shortcut Ctrl-Shift-M on Windows or Command-Shift-M on Mac. Your scoreboard will switch to this weird mobile-looking view, but we're about to fix that. At the top, click where it says Dimensions. It's probably showing something like iPhone SE. Click it, and then select Edit at the bottom of the dropdown. Now, click Add Custom Device, and here's what we're going to enter. Device name, Scoreboard, width 1920, height 1080. Click Add, and then select Scoreboard from your dimensions list. Perfect. Now your scoreboard is displaying exactly how it will appear in your stream. Depending on your screen resolution, your page may look like this, where the scoreboard is cut off. Nothing to worry, as this is an easy fix. All we have to do is click the percentage dropdown next to the dimensions. Next, click Fit to Window. Now the scoreboard is in the correct display for StreamYard. Here's something important. Keep this inspect window open. If you close it, the layout will break. But the good news is you can minimize this tab and it'll keep working in the background. But make sure the scoreboard is in full view and not cut off prior to minimizing the tab. Let's head back to StreamYard. Make sure your scoreboard layout is selected and click the pencil icon to enter edit mode. You'll see this pink box appear around the stage. Click the Share button and select Share Screen. Under the Chrome tab option, select the FireScoreboard tab. You should see a preview of your scoreboard here. If it looks good, click Share. You can also turn off the tab audio sharing if you want, although there is no audio on this page anyway. Now at the bottom left of the stage, click Add Item and select Media Slot. Drag this to expand it so it fills the entire screen. Here's a key step. At the top of the box, click this Move Layer Back button. This moves the scoreboard behind your camera layer. Click Save at the bottom right, then click Update Layout. Now, add the scoreboard screen share to your stage. You should see it appear with a white background. Now add your camera and it will be on top. Looking good. Now we're going to create a custom overlay for your camera and branding. I'm using Affinity Designer because it's completely free and works just as well as the paid options. I'll have the link in the description to download the Affinity software and the Affinity template file for FireScoreboard. Once you've got it, open it up. You'll see a few things here. There's a safe zone guide that shows you where it's safe to put your graphics. And this bottom red box, that's the bottom 147 pixels where the scoreboard will be displayed. So we can't put anything there. Now, I'm going to design my overlay. I want to create a space for my camera grid to appear. So I'll hide the safe area text, then I'll add a rectangle to act as a background for my safe area. I'll update the color to match my branding. And now you can add your logo, team names, and sponsor graphics, whatever you need for your broadcast. In order to get an area for your camera, we'll need to make sure we are in the Vector tab. So at the top left, click on Vector. Next, we're going to add a rectangle shape for our camera frame. Now, with this rectangle still selected, hold Shift and click on your background. This will select both rectangles. Now, at the top of the page, you're going to click the Subtract button. This will delete an area of your background so your camera can sit behind the overlay. I'm going to add a couple more touches and then we'll get forward with the next step. Once you're happy with your design, we'll need to delete these guide layers before we export. Since the safe area text is already hidden, the only thing we have to hide is the red box at the bottom of the screen. Now let's export this. At the top left, click File. Click Export, and export again. This will bring up the exporting box. So you want to make sure your width and height are 1280 by 720. Make sure PNG is selected, and then click Export. Save this to a location where you want to save it. I'm going to name this Scoreboard Overlay. Click Save. Back in StreamYard, navigate to the Overlay section. Click More, and then upload your custom scoreboard overlay by clicking the Add File button. Once it's uploaded, select it and it should appear on your scene. Beautiful. Next, click the pencil icon to edit your scoreboard layout. Now, I can drag my camera into the box I created in the overlay. I'm going to use the fill option here. This usually works better than fit for filling the space properly. You can also use the participant previewer drop down here to see how it'll look with multiple people on stage. This is really helpful if you're streaming with co-hosts or guests. Almost done. Make sure everything looks the way you want it. Adjust your camera positions if needed. I'm going to change back to one participant. When you're happy with it, click Save on your layout, then Update Layout. Let me switch between my regular layout and the scoreboard layout real quick so you can see how smooth this transition is. Perfect. And that's it. You now have a fully functional scoreboard in StreamYard.